This is the first year the Corvette was allowed to be the Indy pace car for
that
the
right?
Indy 500. They made originally 300, and there were lawsuits that came out because there were a lot of Chevy dealerships never got a pace car. To do away with the lawsuits, they said we will make 6,502 replica Corvette Indy pace cars. This is a low number, 390. They made one through 6,502.
Yeah.
And so, actually, I bought this from Denny Fall, a
Did
local
you?
guy who's he deals in exotics. He's a wholesaler, and so that's where this is my first collector car acquisition entered into.
So,
Perfect score, 400 points.
Mhm.
They're obviously doing engine, interior, exterior, and chassis. And there's different components, and there's different points for each component. So I can't tell you exactly, but like to get a junior first at the regional level, you have to score at least the minimum, I think, of 365 points, and you got to be within 10 points of the highest. So if you've got some guy that's got everything together, it can be really tough for you to get a junior first.
right.
And then the senior operates on something similar at the regional level, but this car was in the Grand Nationals. Now you get really serious.
Right.
So on 400 points, you got to have at least 390 and be within like 5 points of the highest.
And when they get done and they score you or give you a point.
Oh, by the way, you never know what the points are. They will not. Judges, there's 5 members to a team. The head judge may come up and shake your hand, but they will not disclose anything, any findings. What happens is 2 or 3 days later, well, you find out that night at awards dinner how your car did, and then generally what I do is I go to the vice president of judging, and I say, I'd like to have a marked up scorecard. I know you won't tell me the points, that's all right. I just want to know the categories that there was a deficiency in, so I know what to work on.
Yeah.
I also do reverse engineering. And then I take that scorecard, it's marked up, and I go through and I take a look and I calculate what I think the points are. And then I do a cost-benefit analysis. So I'm going to work on those areas that's going to be the least cost to me.
So we've got this as a 78 pace car.
Right, and you say there's 6,502 of them.
Yeah.
There's some differences in 78 pace cars. There might be like CB, and some cars had CBs. There were 2 engines. An L48, this is an L48, this is a standard. An L82 would be an optional engine. Also for transmissions, an automatic was a standard, but a 4-speed would be an optional.
Now, do you compete against standard or option,
No,
or does it make any difference?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But from a collector's perspective, if you had an L48 or an L82 with a 4-speed, those are very rare.
Yeah. So the next level is Wheelie Williamsport for your 57 car?
No, I actually have a 55 Pontiac.
Ah,
And it was just at the Grand Nationals in Lebanon, Tennessee.
okay.
I ended up in a second. So I got to make a few changes on the car. And then that car, and that'll be nice in Williamsport. I might even take 2 cars there, because Grand Nationals, one year it's east of the Mississippi, and then the following year it's west of the Mississippi. And it gets a little cumbersome and expensive to have to take a car west of the Mississippi. This car here wouldn't be as great a value because it has a standard V8 with an automatic transmission. Remember, they only made 6,502, and the majority were like this. But if I had an L48 or an L82 with a 4-speed, they may have only made 200 or 300 out of 6,502. It's all supply and demand, as with anything. The lower you have in supply and the higher the demand, the better the price.
This has been great. Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you, Greg.